All right. Good morning. Good morning. So it is a gorgeous, cold morning here in Encinitas, California. I sound like a dang reporter, but I assure you, I am not. Anyhow, so I want to tell you guys a story about me. About 20 something years ago, almost 20. I was about 22 years old. So I'm 47 now, whatever that is. I'll let you do the math. But many, many moons ago, I was here skateboarding. And this is where God kind of spoke to me that my journey would be a little bit different. So I was right here, literally at this skate spot right here, probably one of these cracks that did it. Um, but this is where a lot of my ministry of what I'm doing actually started. So we come down here to surf. I'm not a surfer by any large stretch of the imagination. I'm a very big poser and wannabe. And it's I'm not even going surfing today with my son and his and friends because it's too cold and it's it's too hard for me. So anyhow, I decided to do my podcast with this thing, and I want to tell you the story. So I was at a Bible study, and in Oceanside, California. That's kind of where I live. I worked in Solana Beach, so I drove up the coast, and it was just a gorgeous time with the Lord. And I would drive, 20, 30 minutes to work, and it was just perfect on the coast. I would drive the coast, never took the freeway. I only wanted to be out by the beach and just see what the Lord was doing. And so I remember uh, this Bible study, and we were just worshiping, I think. And then some dude goes, "Hey, like you in the red, like I have a word from the Lord from you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I didn't really know what he was talking about. I didn't grow up like that. Like, I guess they say charismatic or anything. I just didn't grow up any type of like real in the spirit type people. And this dude he goes, "You in the red." So I have a word from God. And there's probably like 30 people there. He just picked me out. And he's an older gentleman. I was young. I was probably 22. He was probably 50, 60. And he goes, "You're in a very water place, a lot of greenery, a lot of shrubs, ocean. You're going to go back to where you came from in a desert, and you're going to bring water, and you're going to bring what you know, and you're going to funnel water. You're going to bring water. You're going to bring life. You're going to bring greenery to a dying place, to a desert." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's pretty powerful." Okay. Well, he didn't know me from Adam, and I was also from Hemet, California, which is inland about an hour and a half, and it's not the most green place, and it's not the most, I would say, spiritual place. It has a lot of, it's like any town, I guess, nowadays, but it's like drugs, alcohol, and so homelessness, of course, California. But back then I was ministering to my family, and I knew God was going to call me back. I knew God was doing something. I couldn't pinpoint it, and I was struggling because my life was so good here. I was skating every day. I was surfing like a wannabe back then, even though I was at the beach. I still never could do really well, and I just tried hard. But I was just doing my life. I loved it because I would snowboard in the winter, and I was the skate manager at a surf ride shop up here, and like God just was doing some cool things. I was kind of recruiting the skate team, and I was just loving my life. I even had a little quote unquote girl that I hung out with, and it was really cool, really good spiritual time in my life. And but I knew there was more. I knew it was self-seeking. And if you listen to my podcast, life is never about yourself. That is the people think it's about you. It's not about you. Like, once you can wrap your head around that it's not about you, this life isn't for you. It's for you to glorify God, to know God, and then for you to live such in a way where you give to others. So in fact, this story is for you, so to speak. It's not like I get it, it's cool, but it doesn't matter. Like, my story is past tense. If this can minister to you, then it's a win, if that makes sense in the brain. Like, it's not, as you're growing, should live life for others. And so I digress, but um sorry with all the noise. There's a trash truck right here, and he's backing up in reverse like 50 feet. Sorry about that. I'll bring the mic closer. Anyhow, um so I was praying about what to do. I was praying about, God, what do you want me to do, man? I'm loving my life, but it's empty. It was empty because I was just doing it for me, and it was fun. Yeah, I was going to church. I was a Christian, sure, but I really wasn't like impacting anyone. I wasn't. Yeah, I was ministering at work. I was ministering, out in the lineup. I was ministering at the skate park. Like, we had a house where like 8 of us lived, and I lived on a couch for like $65, and everything, most of the guys there, I think, no, they all were Christians, and we had, snowboarders and surfers, and it was just a cool house where God was just doing this cool thing. And brother Willie was like our mentor. He was older, just such a wise dude. I loved Willie. And my friend Phil, what's up, Phil? If you watch this, Phil was a surfer ripper, dude, and we snowboard together, and it was just so fun, man. God, and we'd go film together. Like, it was all about like just doing life, right? Like, kind of like Southern California thing. And it was fun. It was a good season, but it still was empty. It was lacking. And deep down, I knew God was calling me to more. And so one day I was at work, and I was praying. I said, God, I'm skating every day. I said, I don't know what to do. I want to minister. I want to like love people, but I don't know my space here. I don't have a spot here. And if you want me to do something, you're going to have to show me. Like, you're going to have to show me, because I don't know what to do. And he spoke. I spoke, and I said, Lord, because I don't know what to do, you're going to have to like break me. You're going to have to like break me. I said, the only way I'm going to get out of this is like, I have to break my ankle, because I'm snowboarding, I'm surfing. I need my ankle. It's powerful. I said, by the way, that would be my second time that I broke my ankle. So I broke my ankle before, and it was weak. So I always had this weak, quirky ankle from when I was 18. And I was like, you're going to have to like break it, because I don't know what to do. And you have to slow me down, because I'm just, every day I'm skateboarding, and I'm waking up, and I'm disciplined, and I'm an athlete, and I'm super like, energetic. Like, we're doing this thing, and we're making the phone calls, and going to doing the skate spots, and going to this, the surf spots. Like, we're chasing this, and I'm being disciplined, and I'm doing the right things, but I'm still empty, knowing there's more. And so I said, okay, Lord, you're going to have to really show me. And I said, you're going to have to snap me and break me and humble me, because I don't know what to do, but I do want to pursue you. So what ended up happening was, I was coming home from Solana Beach right here, and driving. And I have Jar of the Coast always, and I know there's good surf here, and I know that we're kind of on this D Street area, and Swami's right here. So I was looking to the left to see if surf, and I had a skateboard, and I'm driving down this way, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll skate, whatever. And I drive by this parking lot in Moonlights. By the way, this is actually Moonlights Beach. It's beautiful. It overlooks the ocean right here. Down there, I think there's volleyball courts. It's real populated. It's like a tourist trap. And I knew that, well, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I did not know that there was just going to be like a skate thing here. There was probably like 100 people skating right here in this parking lot, just massive. They had a ramp out, little launch ramps. They had like quarter pipe. They had rails. Like, it was like kind of skate day, I guess. And people were just skating everywhere. And there's people watching, like families and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a skate park, on fire. So I'm like, I'm not serving. I'm going skateboarding. I had my boat in the car, an option. I'm going to go skate. Like, this is the day that the Lord has made. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm out of the ocean. I'm like, dude, this is cool. And I get out my skateboard, and I say, and the Lord speaks to me, says, well, why don't you warm up? Be wise, like, do your thing. Because I'm a big warm-up guy, because you don't want to get hurt, and you gotta. And the pride in my heart said, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm just gonna run this thing real fast. And I remember there's a rail right here, and I'm a skateboarder, man. Like, I'm an OG skateboarder. I had a skate shop with my partner, Johnny Vargas. A little shout out. He's the man. We skateboard. That's what we do. We had a whole crew. This was us, Southern California skateboard guys. And there's a rail right here. And I ollied on it, and I remember just doing a couple tricks, and easy peasy, man. I'm locking it in, and I'm having some fun. And then I go, and I'm fast, because there's so many people, and I skate fast anyways, and I skate high and big. There's this high rail about just like 24 inches, like big. People weren't even hitting it. And I remember going on it, bam. It was like some type of like nollie front side board side. So I'm sliding backwards. So I'm literally like, in the video, I'm literally like this right here. I'm actually going backwards like this, coming off this way, and I turn hard. And it's pretty hard. I turn. As I turn, my front foot misses, which is kind of typical for me in terms of that angle is bad for me and my foot, because my front foot has to move fast. If you know about skateboarding, I got to get it out fast. I got to go backwards and turn this way, right? It's not a smooth transition for me. I have to force the issue. I have to force the hips and the shoulders really fast. And my ankle broke, and it quivered. And it was shaking, and people came up, "Oh, you okay? You okay?" And I try to pretend it all like no big deal because I've rolled it before, and in martial arts. I mean, I have a bad ankle, man. I kicked my friend Matt on his knee. I mean, I've had problems with my ankles most of my life, and it's the way God teaches me, and that's a whole another lesson. Like Jacob in the Bible, where he broke his hip. He broke his hip so that he would the rest of his life depend upon God, and he walked with the limp. So in the skateboard, snowboarding industry, surfing, whatever that I do, the activities that I do, God, deep down, I'm a broken vessel. I have a broken ankle. People don't know that because I have been pretty good at skateboarding much enough, but it's discipline, it's training, it's humility, it's warming up, it's ankle braces, pain, but it's still not for me. It's enjoyed by me, but I'm living for the Lord in my ministry. And so, anyhow, this reminds me, Buck from Skate Park Church. Buck, I'm going to call you when I'm down here. Anyhow, so I hobble over there. I wrap my foot. It's shivering, shaking. I can't. Some kids are like, "Okay, I'll help with your car." I'm like, "Nah, I can't do prideful." So I limp over there, get in the car, and then my friend Brandon Gray lived right down here, man. He lived like right down the street, and I went down here right off. I think it's like El Camino. It's just right here, and I go and I say, "Hey, dude, like, I think I broke my foot." So his mom helps me. So she ices it, and I take some ibuprofen and stuff. And she kind of, "You okay?" And you go to the doctor. I said no, or hospital. I know, and I know what I need to do. I need to go home, which is him, an hour and a half. I said I need to go talk to go see my mom, and so I'm like getting set up. She takes care of me. She wraps it. We do all that stuff. It's swollen. It's blue and stuff. And I say okay, and I know it's broken, and it was broken. I got it checked out when I went back to the hospital in Hemet. But the point is the drive from there, from my friend Brandon Gray's house, the beach, to Hemet, was one of the most experiential times I've had with the Lord. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was just driving my little Mazda Protege. It was black. Just get in the car, and God was just speaking to me and saying, "Life is more than skateboarding. I'm sending you back to the desert, and you're going to bring water, and you're going to bring greenery and shrubbery and ocean life and water life and living to a desert, to a dry place where people may know me." And my life went from skateboarding and doing stuff myself to ministry. And there's a massive difference in my life than it was back then. These guys are going to be surfing. Look at it. They're having some fun. Yeah, they're getting a little warm up. They're smart, man. I love it. That's my son does. I got to get warmed up. I haven't done it yet. And so I remember God just speaking. I mean, I literally just wept. I cried. I bawled. I just knew that God was doing it. My ankle hurt, but it was the pain of God breaking me because of his love. It wasn't pain of my ankle and hurt and suffering. It was the love of the Father saying, "I've called you. I love you. I have a more important role for you, but you can't see it." I even prayed for it. That's how stupid I was. And so I don't believe that you have to be broken like that, like physically. And I don't believe you have to come to those places of asking God. However, the Bible says that the sheep know the shepherd's voice. So tune into the Lord. And then my whole thing is always abide, right? Tune into God. Listen to the Lord. Listen to the deeper things of God. And hopefully you won't have to go through that. But if you are going through things, which you are, I'm sure, disease, cancers, financial problems, relationship problems, callings, missions, I pray that you would ask the Lord to show you. If you're already broken, come to that broken spot and live in that and say, "God, okay, like, what am I doing here? Who did you make me to be?" And you'll find that there's a glorious light at the end of the tunnel. For so many years, I thought that light at the end of the tunnel was an oncoming train. And, you go through the depression and discouragement, and, it's like never positive, never positive, never positive. And you can't see it. You can't see it when you're in the dark, right? You can't, you have that hope, right? But you can't see it. And that is exactly what God did in my life. I didn't see what was happening. All I knew was I had to go back to Hemet, right? I had to go back to where I came from. No more surf. There was skateboarding there, which God took me on a skateboard journey for the primary time of my life, next 20 years. But surfing was gone, never again, really. That industry thing was gone. those relationships kind of were gone, but God used me a great deal. I was a pastor, a minister, everything that you could think of in him H-Town. And so I pray that God just tunes you in to these things today. If you're going through crazy crap, know that he has a plan, a purpose, and breaking is so that you depend upon him for the rest of your life. So that ankle or that hip or that injury or that financial or that spiritual or relationship breakup, when it broken by that, God is trying to get you to depend upon him, and he'll do it at all costs because he loves you. Thank you, guys.